All right. Hello again, parents. This is Mr. St. Clair. I've had a lot of questions about this, so I thought I'd send you a quick video and show you how to check this. I've had parents asking, how can I see what my child is doing in Compass Learning? Compass Learning is one of the great tools that we use because it's targeted right at your student's level. So if you have a child that is working on Compass Learning, you might want to check their progress because they might be on there for a good chunk of the day or a good chunk of the time that you have set aside to work, and they look like they're working. You want to check and see what they're working on. The other thing to check too is you'll want to check and see how they're doing on those tests and quizzes, because we have some kids, especially when they're pretty sure nobody's looking, love to click. Okay. And they're not really reading the questions or listening. They love to click. So I've made up a test child here for you to look at because it's not going to be a real kid. You can look at this one. So let's get into it. When your kid first logs into Compass Learning, they might do this with the Clever badge, or maybe you take the little bit longer route with the name and the password. But whenever they get into Compass Learning, they first come to this screen. Just as a heads up, there's Highbridge Reading and there's Highbridge Math. Then there's Odyssey. We don't really use Odyssey. Any work that they do inside of Odyssey is not saved. So what you want to steer them towards or check in when they're working is make sure they're on Highbridge Reading or Highbridge Math. Okay. We talked with the company. There have been talks about removing the Odyssey icon. It hasn't been removed yet. But Highbridge Reading, Highbridge Math. Okay. When they click into one of those, it's going to load up folders with work in it. Now, all the work in their folders should be targeted right at their scores that come from their NWEA test or lessons that I have put in. Okay, this is just a test student, so this has just got some generic stuff in it. But when they click into each folder, there'll be lessons inside of each folder. Okay, they might not look exactly like this. Go back to home. If you want to see their math, you can do the same thing. Here's how you're going to check and see how they're doing, though. You're going to go to Portfolio. It looks like a suitcase up in the corner. This will tell you what they have been working on so far, okay? You have options over here. It's today, week, or month. Again, I just made this one up today, and this showed me that this student, my test student, did this lesson on phoneme isolation. Okay, it was just a generic lesson here. Told me when they did it, and tells me what you might want to know, the score that they got. Now, here's another little icon here you're going to want to check. If you see that little blue icon, that page is totally blue. That means they did go from the start to the finish, and they completed that. If this is not blue, it'll usually be like half blue and half white if they didn't finish. That means that they started and then got out of it. Okay, they did not complete that assignment. You might want to know that if you're checking in with them. Here's the other thing. For an example here, I did a test. Well, this was a number sense test. Again, tells me when they took it. This tells you the score. Yeah, they completed it. They only got 50% though. Now, what you might want to know is, hey, what happened here? Click on that 50%. And you can see the tests that they took. And you can see the answers that they gave. Again, green check mark, got it correct. That was the correct answer. Red X, that tells you what they chose. And it was incorrect. Okay? So, here's the other factor. This student rushed. And I know that because I was the student. But you might want to know how long they took them to do that test. That's when when I start seeing scores like this, like a 50% or lower, or even a 60%, 70%, I want to know how long it took them to do that test or that quiz. That doesn't tell me that here. I'm going to show you how to check that, though. Still inside the suitcase, go over to the purple tab that says Reports. Click on that. Subject over here, it says report criteria. I'm just going to make this really easy on you. If you want to know what your child's doing, go to subject. You don't have to dig through all this. Click all. Okay? Activity type, you don't have to dig through all this. Click all. You're going to find out everything that they're doing. Now, you can choose a week, a month, or enter a date range. Parents, don't worry about the date range. You want to keep this nice and simple for you, easy to check. Either do a week or a month. Okay? I'm going to do a week. Now, I just made up the student, so it's not going to be much here. But after you've selected that, like I said subject all, activity all. I did for 1 week, and I just clicked that button, and I'm going to click generate. In just a second here, it's going to make a report. Now, this is what gets sent to my email every week on these kids. So I'm able to check in and see what they're working on and how they're doing. I get this, but you might not know that you can look at this too. Okay? So this is what my student has been doing. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you. This is what you will want to know. Check this out. So this was the lesson that student got 100% on it. Duration, right there. Hour, minutes, and seconds. Took them 4 minutes and 49 seconds to do that lesson. Now, remember that quiz that we didn't do so hot on? We got a 50% on? This quiz, you can open it up and check it again if you'd like. And when you get yours, you can open up and check them by clicking on that 50% to take a look. This quiz had 24 questions. Okay? 24 questions. Take a look at how long it took this student to answer a 24-question quiz. 2 minutes. Now, I am a fast reader. But whoever was reading that quiz or that test was not taking their time to read the question or listen to the question, do the problem, and check every answer. 24 questions in 2 minutes, very unlikely. When your students are doing this, if you're starting to see lower scores, check these times. It's so tempting when the kids want to move on for them to just click and next, click next. Or they look and they go, I think it might be this. I'm just going to select it and go. They're not really thinking through the questions. Okay, so this is just a hint. Like I said, this report, I get a report every week on all of our students. I have Compass Learning automatically send it to me every week, so it goes right into my email. And I just take a quick look over these and see how we're doing. And I might drop in new assignments, or I might check in on you and your students, see, hey, they're having a rough time with this. Do you need any help? Or how can I help out and send you some resources? But if I was a parent, honestly, this is where I would be checking. I'd be checking those reports and seeing how they're doing and are they taking that time. All right. This is just another resource for you. Like I said, it's something that if I was a parent, I would like to have on hand. All right. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. Glad I can help out, parents. Talk to you soon.